Hello again. I'm still on the topic of other things, but this video is now about the police box that I've been working on. Sadly, I forgot to take pictures during the process. I may make another as an example, but yeah, I'll go through basically what this is. So I've started on the sign. I have got the base behind me, and I'm very pleased. As I'm going for the police Met boxes, the original police boxes, the signs are very small on their design. Mine's even smaller because I'm scaling my police box, because the Met boxes were giant, and there's still a few in Glasgow if you want to know how big they are for scale. If you go to Glasgow, you'll see exactly how big they are. There's only 4, I believe. But that's what my design is based on. So far, this is the sign at the minute. It's not completely done. I've just been applying gel coat. How I did this, I got a piece of wood, measured it out to its appropriate size, because eventually I need this to be quite thick material, because these are going to be plaques. Once I've taken a mould, I'm going to make full-on epoxy resin, not polyester, but resin, so that it's clear. So what I did was I printed it in 3 sections. There's a visible line there you can see, but the other one's about here, but it has blended because of the gel coat. I will have to fix that. I'm adding gel coat so that I can see if it has the print lines anymore, and they are slightly dissipating. But yeah, I'm very happy with it so far. So all it was 3 3D prints, which all took about 8 hours each. Glued them down. Started applying white gel coat in there because there are a few gaps, and the camera's about to die, so we'll see you in a bit. So where was I before? Yes, I'm going to make this into, I'll be taking a mould of it, and this time the letters will be a bit like what I did last time, where they were sunk. I'm really not thinking the word right now. But this time, as you can tell, it is a lot more clearer, and it is the right font this time. What I did on the old one, I didn't know what the fonts were. I did have to do a bit of research into finding out, and the font for the police box is the same exact font that they use for the BBC. I mean, obviously it's been around for so many years. And the font they use for the top sign and a bit on the pull to open sign is GL Sans. So that's mainly what they use. And then for other fonts, they use New Times Roman. So they are both basic fonts. Well, that's basically what it comes to. Like I say, it is a bit small if I had something for scale, but... So, the old ones originally measured... Oh, can I remember the number? About 840. For some reason I've got that in my head. The new ones, however, if I get it on the edge, now measure 57, which is upside down at the minute. 570. So, yeah, they are a lot smaller. Get off. Trying to do things with one hand is not easy. And before they were about, so lengthwise, about 840 I think, or 900. I know a few of my friends have them in their house as well. So I could go back and measure them, but I can't remember. But they were bigger, and these ones, the other ones were about 90 mil top to bottom. The new ones on mine are even smaller. And again, get the tape, because I can't remember what I've measured it out. Oh, these are 90 mil. No, maybe not 90. 150 I think actually, my old ones were. And that was because I wanted them to be big, so when you looked from a distance you could actually, you know, when the police box was out, you could actually read it. But it didn't look great. So yeah, I've just gone for whatever works, because I've had to sadly abandon the original sign, because I was doing that to a much bigger scale, but because my new one, and this is the base, if I can zoom out, because I'm now going smaller, this, you would believe it or not, is the top layer of the plywood is 4 foot by 4 foot, so a standard sheet, and then of course cut it from 8 foot, so in half, because I wanted to go as big as possible. It's about the same as the other one, but if you remember from the police box, the way I built it wasn't exactly great, and I want to definitely, as you can see, these ledges, I want it to have the chamfer design, so I've done enough room, so the base is bigger than the original, but it'll roughly be the same height and size, but properly proportioned to what I want. An example of the official builds on Doctor Who would be the Jodie Whittaker TARDIS. Say what you will about the era, I'm not the biggest fan of the era, but I've been saying this to people, I do like the props and stuff from that era. I really think they pulled it out of the park for some of the props. I don't like the inside of the TARDIS, before anyone thinks that. I never liked that. But I liked the exterior. It was old and new at the same time. Same with the Matt Smith box. I just loved the original, what, you know, they're meant to be based off the Met boxes, and when they kept trying to change them and make them squarer, I didn't like that, sadly. But hopefully this will be big enough, not too big, to the point where we can't fit it in a kitchen, because I've got an idea in the future for this TARDIS to land somewhere. I've got to remember, I want it to fit into apartments, buildings, wherever, for filming locations. I've got an idea of where I'd like to land it, and it has a grand big hole as well. Kind of funny, because I've not even mentioned any of this to anyone. No one knows about where this police box is going. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening with this police box that I'm keeping secret. Because it's just one of those things I've got to now, I want it to be a surprise for everyone of where I'm filming, and, you know, it's the whole point. It's like the official show, you know, you don't say, oh, we're filming here, and then everyone turns up. I want it to be secret, and if anyone does come across it, you get people taking pictures going, oh, look, they're filming, or whatever. Yeah, so that's that on the police box. This is the new sign box that I'm going to be working on, so I have had to change a few things, and if I can, again, one hand's not easy, so that would fit on there, and it has a lot more width at the sides compared to when I did the other one. Again, I was at the time trying to base it on the Matt Smith box, but I did a lot of errors and I didn't know how to build one, but now I do, and it's the reason why that looks so good and crisp and clean, and when I take a mould, and all 4 will be identical finally. The first one was just an idea, you know, I just wanted to, and it went on for too long, but now that I do moulding and everything, my props are a lot better and built, because I'm getting better at my moulding stage, as with this and other things over there. I can now do that with the police box, and I have to just take it much slower because I'm going to be moulding it. So soon all this will be junked, literally very soon. I've mentioned it a few times. So that's that on the thingy. This will keep changing because I've got to, you know, probably fill it a bit more white gel coat to make sure, if I can focus, there's a little gap there, so I need to make sure there's no gaps at all, because I'm going to take a mould. I found this that I made a while back, and it'll do for the scale. And again, I've got to gel coat this to get rid of all those little print lines. I do not want no print lines showing. It don't matter about this, because of how high it's going to be. Although I am trying to think, is it going to be that high? Because again, I'm not making this box too tall and not too wide either this time. About the same width as the last one, but it will be a little taller. More of the roof this time will be a lot taller, as I did that wrong. So yeah, that's that on the sign, and that I've currently got the pull to open printing. I've just designed that, and I'm printing in 2 halves because of how big that's going to be. The window mould is well, there's one at the minute. That's still getting used, and I've got to make another 7 copies, and then get some perspex, bolt it to that, and yada yada, and then that's that finally, you know, that moulded, and I don't have to make separate ones. That, yeah, moulding really does come in handy when you're making multiple different parts, obviously. And then this, which I've been doing for the last few days, is a mould of one of the lens. Well, I say one of the lenses, there's only going to be one of the lens, and this is a 3D print that I gel coated and then took a mould off. It's not accurate, but much better than what I printed about a year ago, and smaller as well than before. It's about 120 in diameter, because I didn't want to go too big and I didn't want to go too small. I'm dropping, things are falling. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm up to at the minute on the TARDIS. But yeah, that'll also be another thing because of it getting to, as you can see, better weather now. And again, junking everything outside. Don't worry, I'm not quitting on them. I've got to get them done. But I was just I've currently not got much money, so I'm not really. I am doing stuff, but not. Things are just a bit busy at the minute, so I just thought, just, you know, whatever I've got laying about, I'll just get planning, and, you know, yeah, that's it, planning ahead for the next parts, because that was a bit of wood, that was a bit, at the top it was all jagged, you know, so I've cut that down. It's what I do whenever I'm, like, bored and I have anything left about. I'm like, right, what can I do with this? So that's where I've mapped out on the TARDIS bottom. I started on the sign because I had some 3D filament left over, and I thought, right, print them, get that sorted. Again, a bit of this, which was about out to here, so I just trimmed it down. And yeah, just planning, and then finding old bits like that, the lens over there. But yeah, that should be about it. And again, that's just been left for a long time. So yeah, not really much more to say. Again, I wanted to keep something for each week, and here's something. So yeah, I'll see you all soon, and again, like I say, every Saturday there will be something, hopefully. So I'll see you soon.